everyone, and welcome to Prestige Encounters, the Dungeons & Dragons campaign, brought to you by Lich Souls Gaming. I am the amalgamation of your innermost fears, the Dungeon Master, Salkos, and we have fantastic... It's just my face. We have an exciting session in store for you tonight, but before we get to all that, we have a few announcements we have to get through. First and foremost, for the next 7 days only, we are sponsored by Factor 75, a very delicious meal prep service where you get fully prepared meals delivered to your door that you only have to spend 2 minutes heating up in your microwave. I've tried it, Jeremiah's tried it, Dakota has tried it. It's really good. I'm not even saying that, like, if they weren't good, I would tell you guys, but they are good. So much so I've renewed my service. So there's that. So if you're interested, use the command !Factor in our chat for a link to get 50% off your first week's order. Fantastic time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like food. Hang on a second. Let's say I want that, but I only want to pay like 50% of the price. What would I have to do?
Use our link.
What? What?
Wow, crazy. And also, if as someone who is keeping really close track of their calories, it's really great to be able to have a whole meal where the calorie is just like there, like on the back of every meal. It tells you how many calories are there, so that's fantastic. So it's great. No matter your lifestyle, they all have like vegetarian options, stuff like that. So be sure to check it out. A lot of the music you'll be hearing tonight.
If I'm in Canada.
Yes, but you don't count towards our sponsorship if you are.
All right.
A lot of the music you'll be hearing tonight is brought to you by Midnight Syndicate. Midnight Syndicate is a music production group creating goth, horror, and fantasy RPG music that you can be using at your tables at home. They are the creators of the original Dungeons & Dragons soundtrack. Wow. For more information, go to midnightsyndicate.com or use the command !Midnight in our chat for a direct link. You can also find their music videos on YouTube. Listen to the music on Spotify, and even ask your Amazon Alexa device play Midnight Syndicate right now. Thank you.
Hey, Michael, as someone who's playing a character that you murdered last time, just slow down, bud. Slow down. Slow down.
No, I want to get into it. I'm so excited for the rest of this. What's going on here?
This TPK
I'm excited to see what is going on with all that.
So everybody, grab your drinks, grab your snacks as we welcome you to our table and we begin the latest session of Prestige Encounters. And here to tell us what happened last week in his very own words is none other than Casimir.
Grisna, please help us. Everything happened so fast. How did we get here? Galder and I spent the evening in the Temple of Dalkri. He communed with the entity he believes is Tumus to see if his god could find some way to reach out to the gods of order. As expected, there was no help to be found. We spent the evening soothing the wounded in the temple. As we were ready to come to a rest, we were greeted by a small feline creature. Couldn't explain its name, said it was too long, but had us call it Mr. Whiskers. Fascinating creature, but excuse me, just thinking about it makes me sneeze. It warned us that while we were safe in the temple, our companions had a visitor. Ravelor, Aspen, and Zukifli had returned to the castle to discuss our plans for dealing with the giants the next day. They were woken by the maestro in the night, visiting in some form of illusory state, projecting. I'm not certain, I wasn't there to witness it. He held dear Astra's soul as a bargaining chip to allow him to speak freely. He seems to be having doubts about being a member of the Coven. He offered to be our man on the inside. Convenient now that we have the tool to destroy him. Galder and I returned to the castle in the morning, and after a quick meeting with the king, we were teleported by his court wizard to a snowy outcropping at the borders of the kingdom. We carefully trekked through the snow, only to come across one surviving dwarven soldier. We were warned the giants had been twisting themselves into some kind of twisted giant fiend mix, horrifying and dangerous. This soldier, this brave survivor, promised to make one last diversion with a store of Noxiarium. And with a massive explosion, a distraction was created. We carefully trekked into the giants' camp, facing only 2 remaining giants and some form of glacier. I studied it briefly. It seems to be some form of cradle, protecting a fiendish form gestating. It's the source of the corruption. Soon after, we prepared, gravely wounding 1 giant, then battle, chaos. 1 giant fell, then a second. Cold, crash, freezing icicles, skin biting, torturous pain in brief moments. Revelor was struck hard. I transformed him into a giant thunder lizard to keep him safe. Cold flash. The battle continues. So carefully engulfed, they are frozen solid. The seconds pass so fast. Can we save them? No. They've been shattered. So quickly. Kresna, please.
And with that, everybody, 2 members of your party lie shattered forms scattered amongst the snow and ice. Next up in combat is Revelor.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, cool. Yeah, he's a T-Rex. He's going to as Noah frantically looks for the Tyrannosaurus stat sheet, he's going to thump into it with his mighty tail, which is going to be a +10 to hit. It's a natural 1 and an 11 to hit.
Misses.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, was this? No, it's not. Okay. Fine. It misses. He whirls around and then tries to sink his sharp teeth into it. 25 to hit.
25 will hit.
Dealing 44 points of piercing damage.
All right, with that bite, the glacier shatters.
He goes full on Jurassic Park with it, tearing the ice apart, shaking it apart. A mighty prehistoric roar.
Yeah. So as the thing shatters, ice and mist shoots up into the sky in a massive column, and then you hear the words.
So these are the ones who have freed me.
Cold chill spreads throughout the area as the real fight begins.
Oh.
Making himself known to all of you is this massive fiendish demon, eyes glowing with a bright blue sickly light. Their skin seems to be frozen. They have armor made of this frost licking ice. In their hand, they wield a giant axe that is made from a mixture of stone and ice as well. And by the way, they stand about 30, 40 feet tall. With
So I'm not
that,
high enough.
anything else for Reveler's Torn?
His T-Rex brain is going to flash forward to when eventually he evolves into a turkey, and things feel safer. But otherwise, that's kind of it.
All right, so it shares the initiative that had the cradle. With
It
that,
was 6.
the primordial demon is going to take its turn. It's gonna make with it's gonna start with this its slam attack. With its reach of 20 feet, it's gonna reach down to Aspen.
Okay.
And make the slam.
This is fine.
That is going to be a 31 to hit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing 25 points of bludgeoning damage with that attack.
All right.
It's now going to take its axe of ice, and it's going to go on to Casimir.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It's gonna be a 35 to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna hit. 35 to hit.
That
help
is
the Giants, you say.
39 points of damage total. The first 40, 12 plus 10 is force, and then the remaining 48 is cold.
Okay, so the...
I don't know if you're
the
resisting any of that.
Well, I can make myself somewhat resistant to that, but I don't have a ton of spells left. But that's 12 of that is cold damage, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll absorb elements and make that 6, so
33.
33 damage. Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna make its
Wow.
last slam attack against Casimir. By the way, can I get a Constitution saving throw, please, for your spell?
Right. Sorry, it's been a while since it's been a little bit of time, so Constitution saving throw at disadvantage. Been a while. That's a natural 1.
Revelor reverts back to its form. This T-Rex now just a mortal man.
Oh no!
A soft, squishy mortal man. Little half-elven flesh.
Oh, still too big. Here we go.
He reverts back to human form, but stays the same size.
It's gonna make its last slam attack against you. By the way, there, Casimir, it's gonna be a 33 to hit.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that.
34 points force damage.
Woof. Casimir is hanging on by a thread.
And with that, it is now Aspen's turn. Casimir's on deck.
All right. Just looking at my spells. This is a very dire situation. And the status of our friends here. Yeah, so Aspen is going to use a healing word at the 5th level on Casimir for 17 points of healing.
Yeah. Thank you.
And he's just gonna start running.
That's legit.
He's gonna, call to you both, but he's gonna start running.
I wonder what this thing's reach is.
20. Michael stated that. Yeah.
For that attack.
He'll dash. So this is not with a disengage action, but he'll dash out.
Okay. It will take its opportunity attack to make an ice axe attack against you. 28 to hit.
Yep.
63 points of damage.
Oh shit.
63. Wow, that would take all of my health away, guys.
So you did not go anywhere.
No, I did not.
I like this music. Casimir, it's now your turn. As Aspen goes unconscious.
Aspen goes unconscious. So did he get as far as he went, or did he just stay where he was?
I would say
I would have had to breach his
right
range.
Yeah, slam right there. Okay.
There we go.
Well, this is awkward.
You will not escape me.
Yeah, I kind of get that feeling already. Thank you for talking in my head, creepy Mr. Devilman.
He does have telekinesis. Not telekinesis. Telepathy. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, all of my plans just got thrown out the window.
Your plans.
Casimir is going to disengage and fly like 30 feet over here. That's as far as I can get. And I don't have a... Let's just see if I've got a bonus action left. Sorry, it's been like a week, so... Yeah, no, that's it. So that's my turn.
Revelor.
Okay. All right. Revelor's gonna stumble down to the ground on his boots. Remember that he's a human. No, he's a half elf. Shake his head. Wonder if he still has feathers. Realize furthermore that he's terribly hurt. So he's gonna first of all bonus. Wait a minute. He's already used his friggin'. This thing's already used its reaction. He's going to take advantage of the fact that it's distracted, smashing Aspen to the ground. Oh god. Okay, he's going to run for Aspen. 25 feet.
Thank you.
And he's going to feed a potion of healing to Aspen from his inventory. Take a grand total of a beautiful 5 points of healing from the potion of healing. 5 points, bud. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Now he's... Yeah, that's what he's got. So now he's going to duck. He's gonna get another 10 feet here. Is this cover right here? This iceberg?
That's like ice on the ground, so that would be technically difficult
ice
terrain.
On the ground. Okay. That's great. No, I love that for me. In that case, I think that's it. That's what he's... Oh, sorry. You know what he's going to do? He's going to use a bonus action. And instead of going that way, he's going here. He's going to use bonus action to go 30 feet. This is cover right here?
Yeah, it's a giant bonfire. That's extinguished.
Oh. Okay, cool. He can make it just about there. That's his turn. All right, Aspen, you're up.
No.
Literally. No, I mean, no, this guy's up.
You're up and you're down. Play dead, Aspen.
His axe has a reach of 30 feet, by the way. And he's going to use that attack against Casimir.
Gross. Okay.
36 to hit.
Silver
50. You still had one?
I have a
20
reaction.
to hit.
You know, it's a damn shame, but that misses.
It misses?
Yeah, Blade Singer.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
actually-
It's next
by a
same
little
attack
bit.
against Revelor.
And Revelor gets advantage. Sorry. Actually, you know what?
Nice.
No, I said it. Revelor gets advantage.
Okay.
I don't take it
So
back.
To whom was the next slam attack? Did you say it was for Revelor?
Revelor, 34 to hit.
Yeah, 34.
Down.
Dealing 29 points of force damage.
29. All right, he's gonna use uncanny dodge. Uncanny dodge to halve that to 9 points of force damage. Nope. 10 points of force damage.
15.
15.
Oh,
You're
14.
right. 14. You're right. Thank you.
Uh-huh. And he'll make another same attack against Aspen. 31 to hit. 28 points.
Technically, he would make it that at advantage because Aspen's on the ground prone.
This is true.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, really. Still hits.
Yeah,
But not a crit.
Just in case it's a crit, you know, like.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate the honesty. You bastard.
I need a death saving throw from Aspen, please.
You need a death save? Okay.
You got fed a potion. Oh,
What?
now he's dead, right? Never mind.
Like he just got knocked down and now it's his turn.
Back
Yeah,
down,
sorry.
yeah.
My brain.
Thank you so much for that save. Privately rolled to me. Moving on. Casimir, it's your turn.
Okay. So. Casimir is going to cast slow on the entity.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to need. Sorry, I actually haven't used this in a while. It needs to make a wisdom saving throw, please. And thank you. DC is 18.
That's a natural one, but it will use one of its legendary resistance.
Yeah, okay. That kind of tracks. And Casimir is going to fly 30 feet. He's basically at the roof of the giant's hovel now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Revelor.
Right. Revelor is just sort of barely going to survive that last hit. He's going to bonus action disengage and then move 30 feet this way. There. Boom. Now he's got 40 feet range. Let me just double check his freaking Thunderburst reach. Sorry, he's not going to move that far. He's going to move there. He's now 30 feet away, and he's going to use his Thunderburst at advantage so that he can get his sneak attack. So 2d20. Keep highest 1. Plus 13. Does a 31 hit?
31 hits.
I love that for me. Okay, 1d10 plus 1.
He only has one
Okay,
hit
let's-
point.
He's got, okay, and he's got 4d6. Okay, so take 28 points of thunder damage from the Thunderburst,
Mm-hmm.
and then fire again. I believe the Thunderburst can fire twice.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it doesn't
It
require
doesn't
Yeah,
take ammo.
Beautiful, beauty. This time it's going to be just a straight roll. 1d20 plus 1. 21 to hit.
21 hits.
Okay. Okay, dealing 16 points of thunder damage.
Yeah.
I'll show you noise. I'll show you cool under pressure.
Anything else?
Yeah, that's what he's. No, that's it. I think I've used that up.
The demon is going to put his hands in the ground and pick up these two massive glaciers in each hand, and he's going to hurtle the first one at Casimir.
Uh-huh. Oda, we miss you.
Does a 34 hit?
You know, sometimes you just gotta waste a fourth level spell and say silvery barbs.
A spell.
A spell.
Spell 25.
Spell.
That does actually hit, but just barely.
Oh man. Oh.
All right, so you're gonna take
Reveler advantage. Yeah.
Lovely.
as this massive glacier comes hurling past you and just makes you.
You're as cold as ice. That's all I can do with that.
55 points of mixed damage, combining bludgeoning and cold.
I mean,
Oh god.
that's you know, that's enough.
He's gonna
Thanks.
hurdle the last one at Reveler. 23 to hit.
Yeah, 23 hits, my sire.
51 points of damage.
Okay. Revelor tries to dodge it, and instead dodges straight into it, I guess, because he goes down.
Did he get advantage on that? No, I guess it doesn't matter.
No, there's no roll there. He's down.
Technically, you have advantage in your death saving throw.
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
automatic advantage.
Thanks. The
Pity.
grimmest benefit. So Revelor is now down. Oh my god.
Well,
Aspen, your consciousness wavers in and out, blinking, trying to get a clearer vision as your party members have fallen one by one. You blink once to see this massive demon raising its axe towards you, ready to swing it down. Your vision goes black. You fade back into consciousness to see none other than the maestro standing over you. If only, leaning down, you would have taken my advice. It was the intention for you to come here and free him from that prison. I tried to warn you. He reaches down and grabs you by the scruff of your robe and pulls you up closer. But here we are. You continue to waver. You begin to feel the taste of iron in the back of your tongue. You look and see that Revelor and Casimir are no longer moving. But I guess this is finally the end. And there's a soft, stinging pain, but everything hurts at this moment. But you look down to see that there is a dagger being plunged into your heart. And all goes black. All of your visions go black. And then red. There is wind. There is warmth. As you hear the words coming from the demon's mouth.
I banish you to the realm of my forefathers.
There is silence, and then a soft howl as the wind. You open your eyes, Casimir, Casimir, awake.
Yes. I'm ready.
You look around to find yourself in the middle of a field. The grass is black as charcoal. The sky is red and filled with smoke. There are sounds of nothing but wind. The kind of wind that you feel in a scorching desert burning at your face.
What?
Power. It wanes here. This is the best I can do for you. There's a shimmer, and the bodies of your companions appear around you. All of your equipment is with you.
We owe you again.
I send somebody to be your guide.
Of course.
A form walks towards you in the field. And for those of you who have forgotten her description, Michael, would you like to describe Lady Guinevere to us, please?
What?
I would be only too pleased to do so. Yes, you see entering the this black field in front of you, or approaching you, this beautiful, tall woman, wearing this elven woman with dark pale skin, not dark pale, very light pale skin. A wide-brimmed hat and a long black dress that goes down to the ground, spiraling out at her feet, kind of like spider's webs. She's walking with a staff in her hand. This has this posture about her of being well-bred, well-raised, and looks very comfortable, very at home. A bit of a smile on her face. Not carrying any of her bags, of course. There is a skeleton following after her, carrying all of her stuff. And she looks at you and she says, "Casimir?
Oh,
Casimir! Hey, welcome!
hello, Gwen.
What did...
You were... Sorry, you were... Am I in hell?
Yes. Yes. Wait, did you die? When did you die?
Well, I mean, technically, a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we just... Sorry, what? Guinevere? Lady Guinevere?
It's Lady Guinevere von Kerkhoff. You know me. We hung out. I took you to the top of the mountain where there was a flower.
You were evil. I was evil at the time. Yeah.
Evil and good. This is a spectrum that I do not agree with. But please.
You left with a dragon that we should never have freed. Yep.
Yes. Very, very nice dragon that was.
Yeah, just, you know.
Took me on as apprentice, learned all about walking the plains. Very, very fun time I had.
Okay.
Yes. Also, you are one to talk. You are also in hell, so...
Yeah, we
How
were
did
just
that go for you?
I mean... Sorry, what? It's like...
Hipmothri! This place, she indicates this black plain you're on. Hipmothri, the place where it's adjacent to the land of the Lord of Nightmares. Are you? I sometimes I forget since starting my study of the plains that not everybody is so well versed in what I know. But okay, you are trying. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm sorry. I mean, planes are kind of like religious domains, and I wasn't super into gods before. And saying sorry, like I'm a book nerd on other things. I can talk about the fundamental
Okay, but the
understanding.
material
of, like,
plane is also a plane, not very religious place, or maybe you're into that thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, where's Zulkifli? Very handsome man with the beard and turns into a wolf sometimes.
Just like a red stain on the grass at this point.
You're actually
Is
in your
everyone
physical form, I will say. You're
Okay.
in your
Okay.
unshattered form.
Bits of meat is pretty physical.
At this point, you can all reset your health to full.
No way. What?
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Yes, all right. Setting my health to full. Wonderful.
You will awake with
God.
all of your gear due to someone's prayers being heard.
It was mine.
I mean, I didn't realize my recap was a play.
It's funny how I do those kind of things, isn't it?
Yeah. That was just thematically appropriate to Tony. Is everyone's okay?
No.
No, but we're alive. Kresna. Save us.
Aspen will look down at his chest. Was there any remnants of a wound?
So you will pull back your robe, and there is a scar. Well, it's actually over here. Scar.
Actually, there's two because he missed the first time and he went to stab again.
That's what woke you up.
Are there just like splinter marks all through Zulkifli's body where he had to be repieced back together, or how does that work?
Yeah, you'll
That'd
have
be
like a
cool.
spider web of scars across your faces
Oh,
now.
that's so cool.
Oh.
Is it also possible that Fieldborgs have two hearts and he had to stab him twice?
Listen, let's just continue on with this session, okay? We'll talk
Yeah,
about anatomy
okay.
later.
You guys look really rough. You must have had a really bad time. You must have really not wanted to be dead. You do not want to be dead?
I mean,
You came here against your will? Oh, this is
well, we were
sad.
banished by the demon we were fighting, the fiendish entity we were fighting.
It looks like you were banished by several fists, pushing you into the ground.
I mean, they were Golda. You were shattered, little.
I feel frankly shattered at the moment.
Yeah, I was just crushed by a glacier.
A She just like pauses for a moment. She looks over at her skeleton and is just like, "You were crushed by a glacier. This is very sad way to die. The slowest possible death I can think of, to be crushed by a glacier."
I mean, by the way, does that count?
Oh, I'm
Does
sure
that
it
count on
can.
my stats?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, she'll turn to Galdur and she'll give like a little bow and say, like, "I do not believe we have met. These three I know, but this one I do not know." Very
we have
pleased
not
to meet
met. Nice to meet you. Casimir said your name was Guinevere?
Lady Gwyneth von Kerkhoff of the House
Okay.
von Kerkhoff.
Very good to meet you. I am Golder.
Galdur, yes. Yes, welcome to Hypma 3.
He's
It's,
a
it's a warm
Fair.
place.
We never. Why are you here?
Oh, I am dead.
You died?
Yes. Fastest way to get to the afterlife is dead.
I mean, not for me. I just go to the void.
Well, no, I have business in the afterlife, so I die, and yes, I will be returning to the material plane when I am done.
Okay.
You can-
that's-
You can go back.
Yes, very simple, very very easy to go back.
Well,
Yes,
I mean,
I have. Well, it's very simple. First thing you do is before you die, you start to grow clone and vet. Vet, charge it with necromantic powers. Must be very powerful necromancer to do so. But then once the clone begins to gestate and vet, then you are safe to kill yourself. Go to the afterlife, do your business, and then when clone is ready, you return to life.
see, I mean,
Simple, very simple ritual.
the last time we went to the underworld, we just walked in the front gate,
Mm-hmm.
and trekked our way through there and re-killed somebody who we killed before, and had a meeting with the gods, and then we came back. We also met a frog.
Yeah. This is a very interesting process you go through. I went through something similar.
Yes, tell me about
So-
similar process to die and come back.
I
Very
will
interesting
clarify, since last time Guinevere has seen Aspen has visually changed a lot. He is now a kind of twisted monochromatic version of his former self that constantly like drips inky black substance from his eyes and
Can I
mouth.
just say this is very adorable change for you? Just before you go on about your ritual, this very, very cute thing you are doing with the ink. Did you ever find your sister, by the way? We were looking for her on the mountain, and you just talked about how you couldn't find your sister the whole time.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Is she not with you?
But not really.
Okay.
Oh.
She's very judgmental, so
She
it's okay that
died.
she's not there.
Yeah, she died.
Oh, so she is here.
No,
No.
no,
No?
her soul is being held captive by one of our enemies.
Oh, very, very upsetting thing.
Yeah,
Is this
I
like a
also-
deal that she was
Yeah.
like imprisoned for in exchange for a thing?
No, I think she was just captured by our enemies. And it's saying, like, I mean, she needs her
Let's
soul to
go.
come back. I don't have mine.
Oh, you do not have your soul?
No, not since I think sold it to come back. I don't know. I'm not sure what the price was. When a dark entity asked me before, do you want to come back? I said yes.
Well, you guys have
Sorry.
gone very, very deep into Underworld. I do not think that you are walking back out gate this time. But maybe, I'm sorry, Aspen, I interrupted. Maybe you just do what you did last time.
No, I left my physical form after the maestro set me ablaze, and I came back through my friend Inkwell, the talking mushroom. Now we are
Inkwell is
one.
talking mushroom. I give Zulkifli a look like, oh, is he okay? Like,
He was.
Yeah,
Oh,
like serious look from Zulkif. No,
Okay.
he's talking mushroom.
But
Hmm.
now, as I am here, he'll gesture to the scar over his heart. I was killed by the maestro once more, but not until after I was viciously injured by that demon, and he came and finished me off like a runt coyote.
well, it sounds to me like all of you are coming to Hitma 3 against your will and have no way back. You did not set up that with Clone. Yes?
No. No.
I don't think
no.
any of us know how to do that.
No, it's just a minor setback. We'll find our way out, I'm sure.
It only costs a few 100,000 gold. It's very, very cheap, actually, when you think about the exchange. You know. Well, normally I would say good luck and goodbye, but, well, I mean, I feel kind of bad about you, Aspen, not finding your sister, and I can't say no to Zulkifli's adorable, part human, part tiger, part all cut up face. Oh, so cute he is. By the way, Zulkifli, you are having dreams about me, yes? Every night I'm sending dream to you. No?
Oh,
Yes?
no.
No?
This is. I have this dream. You are your face, but dead, and you are screaming at me every night, screaming inside the river. I go to the river. I look inside, and then instead of my reflection, I see your face. And then you reach up, dead hands, and you pull into the river. This is your dream.
It's supposed to be. It's not working that well. I am not
Oh.
very good with enchantment spell. It should be very, very simple. It's within fourth circle of arcane to cast dream, but I never quite got the hang of it. Sorry, Zulkifli. I just wanted to have some romantic time together with you and kind of get to know each other better. But clearly, I am seeing this is not working well. So
Oh, wow.
very, very
Okay.
apologetic I am about nightmares that I am giving you every night.
I mean, maybe you just don't have a very good imagination. Have you considered that? Like,
Lady Guinevere, we must go back. If there is something you can do to help us, please, we must find a way. If there is someone you know who can help us.
Someone I know. Ooh, someone I know. Well, here is problem. I am dead, so when I am dying, I am not bringing all of my cool wizard stuff with me.
oh, see, we got saved by the Lady Kresna, so we have all of our gear.
Well, yeah. See, this is problem. I was only. I say I had nothing, but clearly I brought a few things with me. But this fairly picky and choosy I must be with death ritual. I will not get into details. But is problem? Am I walker of planes? Yes. Can I shift you all to material plane in your corporeal form? Yes. Do I need shard from material plane to do this? Yes. Very easy to find shard of material plane. When on material plane? When you are here, is a little too late. So, how do we find shard of material plane? Is big question. Open to ideas. Maybe new one in back. Galdur.
Well, I was in a lot of shards just a minute ago, and I'm from the material plane, so.
But it's not going to work so well because body is now belonging to Hipmothri. So let me think.
I mean, technically, if we were banished by a demon, we are still native. But anyways,
this technically you take it up with the three principles of greater identification of body.
Can I get an arcana check from you, Casimir?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Yep. This is not something he was prepared for happening today. It's a 15.
15. You get the idea that your actual bodies are still in the material plane. Your souls have been sent here to Hipmothri.
Oh. Yeah. Our bodies are still back there. We are as present as you are, actually.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. You are dead, I am dead.
Yeah, but I still have this cool singing sword. But
it's very cool, actually. Yes.
Yeah. Kind of.
How much do you know about? How much are you knowing about Hipmothri? Have you heard of this place before?
I mean, we didn't really talk about. What do I know about this, Dungeon Master?
Make a history check.
History check. You're 16.
16. Hipmothri is a demiplane within the infernal planes. Sorry, I'm coughing a little bit.
Sorry.
It is overruled. It is ruled over by the Court of Nightmares and the Prince of Nightmares himself. In the lore of the world, it's been explained how most bad things that happen are due to a demon causing them. Nightmares are brought to you by this entity.
Demi-plane of nightmares.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ruled by Lord of Nightmares or Prince of Nightmares.
So, why were you here then?
It's not important. Okay,
I mean,
we'll not burden you with. There are a few things that I came here to pick up. I'm still in process. Do not worry about it. Very strange wizard things. I have learned that the answer to such questions can ruin friendships. So, I will tell you that if you are looking for shard of material plane, he's probably somewhere in the vaults or possession, the collection of the Prince of Nightmares, most powerful entity in this demiplane.
Okay. This is
now. Is there any chance that any of you that the Prince of Nightmares is indebted to you somehow? That they owe you favor?
don't believe so.
Not that I can remember.
Okay, well,
I mean, if we
I have a nightmare of a dead woman pulling me into the water
yes,
every
that
night.
was me
Yeah.
trying to give you a kiss through water, very
Oh.
romantic scene.
I mean-
no, never mind. Don't think about it.
so Zul, if you kill a bunch of people with that sword, because assume souls are here, you can get something from that, the Lady of Pain, and then maybe she can exchange it for a deal with the Lord of Nightmares.
Hmm.
I mean, we have to kill people who are already dead, so we're consuming their souls. Oh god, this makes me uncomfortable.
Why?
Yes,
They are already dead.
And punished horribly. So, do we send them from the realm of nightmares to the realm of pain? I guess is the question.
look, whatever. If you think that you have some kind of chip to bargain with, that is more valuable than a king's ransom for even the richest king in the world, in dying would not have enough to purchase such a thing, then you do that, yes. Or we break into vault and steal it.
We could
Because I
try
do not
that.
want to show my face to Lord of Nightmares.
I mean, you are the most valuable gleaming thing here. You are the most valuable thing in this realm, so perhaps your presence alone is enough.
Well, sure, if you want to go to the most terrifying place in all of the cosmos, yes, we go there. The
No,
place where nightmares are literally born.
You can show us, take us there.
Of course, I can take you there. I know everything. I told you, I am apprentice to Lunar Dragon. I know everything about the planes. Master
have
of the
your-
planes. I am.
Wait, you know
your
everything about the
business.
planes. Do you have any
sorry.
way of... do you have any way of getting in contact with the beings of order?
Beings of order. Given them. Game Master, do I have a way of contacting the beings of order?
I
Would
mean, short
contact
answer
of
is
the plane
no,
be
you would not.
sufficient?
As like it's inaccessible to almost every entity ever.
Mhm.
I just gotta ask, you know?
But go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Sure. Game Master, I require you to solve my problem. Do so with an 18 on an Arcana check.
Maybe like a
So-
30.
You know that one entity in history that you know of has ever been able to access these planes. Its name is Garguma, and he originates from the now ruined empire of Amin Durusk.
Which we knew. But you didn't.
You didn't tell me this.
Not Garguma, Gargruma. Thank you.
Gargle
Galdur, I just look at you and I say, this I cannot do. This is outside of my power. For a very, very short period of time, will it be outside of my power?
Alright,
You come back to me in a
Let's-
few months and we'll talk.
what time of year was it, like, when we died? How many months do we have left?
It was getting toward to the end of summer.
Okay. I don't know if we have that much time left.
No.
So.
The world as you know it is in dire straits if we do not defeat the Coven.
Oh,
At this
I
point,
think it's
there
different.
is a screech that
Oh, God.
burns into your ears.
yeah.
Up in the distance, you see that there are 3 leather-winged figures patrolling the skies.
Do we have any idea what they are?
Yes, I was going to say
From
the
your
I'll
same.
knowledge,
look
you'd
at
guess
them.
that these are probably upper-ranked demons that are patrolling for people who might be trespassing or unaccounted for in their master's realm.
I check my longbow. Since I died, is the right of the oracle still applied to the longbow at this time?
It would not be.
I take out a knife quickly and then make a quick slash to see if it would work to activate the right, to form the right of the oracle.
It does.
Okay.
Wait, so did we just get all our hit points back, or did we get like a full long rest?
Basically, you should have a long rest at this point.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, now love. All right.
That changes things.
I'm gonna hit that button.
Yeah.
I had 1 5th level spell left.
Yeah. I was like, that changes a lot.
Oh, life is good.
Yeah, well, we've been long rested into our spiritual form.
The longest rest we'll ever have.
Yeah.
Guys, this game is making me feel better about death. Okay.
Die more often. It's kind of.
No, these ones die too much.
This is what I'm saying. Death can be very comfortable. Take it from a high level necromancer.
So at this point, they
Yeah.
don't seem to have noticed you, but what are you doing?
Well,
Okay.
we
Getting the hell
just
out of Dodge.
stealthily move to what
Stealthily?
our goal is.
Yeah.
Um,
What's the surrounding area look like?
So glad you asked. Make a perception check.
Cool. Can I do one too?
Yep.
Cool.
That's a 14.
14.
A 19 with advantage if that if
19.
Tori was helping me.
All right,
Mine's
19.
23.
So what the smells that come to your nose are that of this like rotten egg smell of sulfur, the scorched earth smell of what would be brimstone, but there's something else that's there. Some sort of smell that you can't quite recognize, but it's distinct. This is also a mixture of this deep earthy like brimstone smell as well that gives you the idea that this is a plane where there's a high temperature, but the only thing that burns is really this wind. And then the sound that reaches your ears is this very hollow wail of thousands of voices suffering their punishment in their afterlife. Looking around Aspen, at this current moment, you see that you're in the middle of a almost like a prairie-like field where the grass is like this charcoal gray, and you see that there are many figures just standing still in some sort of daze, all facing the same direction, to the southwest of where you currently are. There are mountains bordering this plain as well, also to the southwest. And you get the idea that you might be able to use the grass to kind of cover yourselves in a stealthy manner since it's so tall.
Ooh, it's long grass. Okay. We can hide in the long grass, but we must move slowly. And also, if it's long grass, it will be sharp. Huh? It will be very hot on your skin. So, slowly.
My skin's tough.
I'd say the temperature's quite pleasant here.
Funny. This place is a lot calmer than the last time I died.
So you have been here before?
No.
Okay. So you haven't been there before?
There's also a crackle of this red hot lightning in the ashen sky in the distance, and it illuminates this very tall, gargantuan, shadowy figure that's making its way through the plains. And you watch in horror as it reaches down to one of these figures that is still facing the southwest and picks it up and puts it to its mouth as it turns, the figure that it picked up turns to ash and is consumed down into its body.
Okay. So we need to avoid that thing.
It's a good idea to avoid most things that you are finding in this plane. I like Sulkifli's idea of hiding in tall grass and moving stealthily towards Prince of Nightmares. Do you hear that? And I turn to my skeleton and I say, do you hear that, Mr. Bojangles? You are moving stealthily, okay?
Wait.
Don't give me that smile. Oh, he's always smiling.
Wait.
You took your undead companion with you?
No, I kind of had to make do with what I could find when I got here, and then I indicate the skeleton, and you can see that it's not, it's kind of assembled from several different humanoid-like creatures. Like it's got like one horn, and it's got too many fingers on one hand, and it's missing a couple ribs, and it's like so one of the legs is a little shorter than the other. It does not matter. It's basically a technical.
Made
Didn't
from
you
more
guys-
than one Bojangle.
Yeah, it's like you guys told me about like a weird cat thing in Frostrun that was named Mr. Bojangles. And that's.
Hmm?
Is any correlation here?
No, I've never never have I been to Frostrun.
Oh, all right.
No, he's
Had
common
to ask.
name. He's like Rex, but for undead familiar and presumably cat.
Hey, shh. We must hide. So we go into the jungle grass.
Can
Oh,
I
God,
really
we're
follow
Following
stealth check,
right
please?
behind.
Balder, do you want to change
Yes.
out of your armor?
Change out of my armor, change me into something else, please.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
Natural.
I'm not gonna waste spells on it. It's okay. We're only in the underworld.
Change out
We
of
don't know
my
how long
armor.
this is gonna take.
Fair enough.
Is going to duck
11.
and turn into a honey badger.
Honey badgers don't care.
Yeah, I'll take off my armor.
10 minutes later.
Hey,
Ooh,
that's a dirty 20.
I just halved my AC.
15.
Did you roll one for the skeleton?
It's a 14 from Galder.
Hey, it's better than you could have had.
Why does it still say he's dead?
He is
Because you,
dead.
you haven't healed him in
Oh.
D&D Beyond.
I have.
Well, he is dead, so. it's a-
Yeah, but
Refresh your roll 20.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's fine. It can stay saying that he's dead.
Not sponsored by D&D Beyond or Roll 20. You updated it in the UI.
So- I took off my armor and I have halved my AC, so this is great.
Yeah, it's okay. Just playing for 10 minutes to put it back on. Trust me, I played a paladin. I get your pain.
Zukifli, as I follow you, as you lead the party through the grass, at any point when you turn around to check to see how the rest of the party is doing, I'm like right behind you, right in your face, like this, very beautiful, shapely, no sign whatsoever of like sweat on my brow from the heat of the literal shores of hell. Like, we're making it. I'm stealthy, just like you.
Yeah.
You must show me how you do this sometime. Look at that. The muscles in your legs are so well defined.
Yes, because a lot of squatting. Must squat.
Yes. Ooh. Maybe you are showing me how to squat sometime? Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And I push her down, further down into the.
Yes.
Okay, please, a head pusher.
Very tall. Yes, very tall.
Which presumably all the wrestling contributes to my natural one on my stealth track, so I don't know what.
Yeah. I mean, I got a dirty 20, so you can interpret it however you
Overall,
want.
the average is actually pretty high for that stealth check. We did have another natural one on the counter, but overall, pretty up there.
Thanks,
It's-
dice giveaway receiver.
So as you make your way through the grass, the three figures that are kind of flying over pass by without seeming to notice you. But as you're who's leading the way?
Oh, did Revelor roll?
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, but he's like, who knows where he went?
Revelor's not
He's
with you.
31. Yeah, don't worry about it. What? Oh shit. Never mind.
Shit.
Hey, what happened to guy with cool gun?
I'll look around. Huh. Oh,
And
no.
we've lost a couple people. We also lost Kydro. He was the
Yeah.
punchy guy.
I remember. I am remembering Kydro.
Yeah. We
Punch
also
elf.
we've met a couple different. Where's Revelor? He died
That's-
with us.
Maybe he is dead. Maybe he is just trapped under Glacier. Tried to run from Glacier, could not run away from Glacier and died. Did not. No, maybe he did run away from Glacier.
I did think I saw him get crushed by a glacier as I was dying. So, for the fourth time.
Two things, GM. One, Zolkifli's going to have a quick sniff for Revelor's scent, which by now he'd be very well acquainted with.
What do you mean by that?
Because he
what do you think I mean by that? 25.
25. Don't pick up his scent.
He was not here. He did not come here.
Second thing is, Zol's happy to lead. Do we have a sense of, is there, I know there's long grass to hide in, as we try to take cover from these flying things. Is there foliage, trees, anything overhanging that might provide us cover against something that's flying?
So like I said, the three figures pass over you without noticing you. It seems so. Yeah. You guys
my
are.
concern is if they come back.
I believe you guys are heading towards the mountains to the southwest.
Yes.
That's the only other discernible land feature. So overall, you're fine. Don't catch Revelor's scent.
Okay.
But as you continue on,
waiting.
You kind of begin to pass by one of those people standing in the grass, just very still. They all deserve to die. Every single one of them. I just needed the knife in my hand, and that would have ended that. Terrible lords always looking down upon me. Every single one of them. Just a human man, dressed as if someone in a working class would be, a farmer of some sort.
Don't look at him, don't talk to him, we're not paying attention to him, we are just walking by.
He sounds like he had an interesting life.
You sound sad.
He sounds murdery, actually.
Unfortunately, we're not here to help these souls. Anyway.
Nothing you can do for them. Very, very sad. Don't ask, do not ask, please do not ask the dead about their life. Always very sad. I'll drone on and on about it, they will.
Well, that's all they have left to talk about.
It's like, you can only ask them 5 questions normally. Then they...
Well, that's the spell.
Yeah.
But, if you're actually just in contact with their soul, it's probably different.
So we are all ghosts, dead. Our bodies are gone. He looks down on himself. So I am Sol Kifli.
Sol Kifli?
That's it. That's all I had for that. Please continue.
Can I get a wisdom save from everybody, please?
Okay.
Unrelated to what you just said, Noah, but can I get a wisdom save from everybody?
You said a wisdom save?
Wisdom, please.
What happens if you die while you're dead? I got a 9, so I go to super hell.
Is this a charm effect?
No, it is not.
Okay. All right, it's 17 anyways.
So I got a 15.
A 21.
Okay, and so carefully, as you said that, and Galder as well, it feels like something was suddenly missing. What did your home look like? You feel as if part of your self, part of your identity and your memories has started to fade.
Okay.
So, this badger who's walking alongside you all will look up at Guinevere, and she'll hear in her head, "So, we're sneaking into this place the Prince of Nightmares watches over. What can we expect?"
Do I have a salient answer to that question? Game Master, I implore you.
Yeah, so the name of the Prince of Nightmares, the Lord of this realm, Lord of the Nightmare Court, is Agazan. But given him that name, Agazan. But saying that name here probably isn't the best idea. So simply thus the Prince of Nightmares or the Lord of Nightmares would suffice. But he is not the nicest of entities. He very much enjoys people torturing people over their dark desires and that sort of thing, as you should know. But typically his castle is made of, hold on. Sorry about that. This castle is made by the mortar has literally been tortured souls has constructed his palace, and it grows with every passing year. So if you get caught, probably not the best for all of you.
Okay. So I respond to the badger. That I would recognize as being, I assume I would recognize as being a familiar of Aspen. And I would say...
It is Aspen.
Oh, it is Aspen in badger form.
Yeah, he's wild shaped and he's talking
Of course.
telepathically.
Okay. So I say back to, I say out loud, but softly, but I say, probably like a dart trap. You know, maybe there's like a puzzle door that we have to solve with like a, you know, you have to spell a word. I wouldn't worry about it too much. We'll play it by ear when we get there.
It would be a shame if I had to lose an arm again.
Oh, you lost an arm? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear. I'm glad you got it back. You got it back, right?
In a way.
Oh. That's not a very clear answer. You know,
My original
very
body
binary.
doesn't exist anymore.
Hey, I have a question. I have a druid question. Can you wild shape into yourself but with arm?
I kind of did.
Oh, okay.
We're not hearing this.
Yeah, we're not hearing this, but like, yeah, that's kind of what happened.
I essentially used my connection with Inkwell to fuse with him as well as awaken his body.
Inkwell is the talking mushroom.
Yes.
Yes.
So I am both Inkwell and Aspen.
I see. Is the talking mushroom in the grass with us right now? Can you see him?
He is me.
Okay. You are the talking mushroom. Okay. I must say, very exciting things happened since the last time I see you. All of you, yes.
Yes.
Sorry about your sister, soul trapped in, you know, soul trap place. But hey, this kind of what is going to happen to all of us eventually, so kind of good get it out of the way.
It's temporary. As is all of this.
I just nod. I don't continue the line of discussion on the immutable nature of the soul.
Oh, Lady Guinevere, you've been relatively quiet, staring at Aspen there for some reason. What's your plan when you get out of here?
Well, when I've completed what I came here to do, I return to my astral laboratory in the plane between the planes, and I continue my work on study of necromancy and immortality, and ultimately defeat death.
Okay, that's okay. Well,
This is very, very normal path for all necromancers.
Oh yeah, to say we've met a lich lord in the underworld, so some kind of lich who's turned towards the gods. So
Which lich lord? Which lich lord?
Is the name Vicitrius?
Atreus? Zetrius? Wait, who?
I mean, it's been a while, so we kind of forgot his name. He was very helpful, but very creepy. He's kind of like floating there. But anyways, I mean, so you're gonna do that.
It was Vicitrius, by the way. He was an arc fletch.
Vicitrius.
Zetrius? You know Zethrius?
The Cetrus.
How's he doing?
Well, he kind of promised himself to the gods.
Oh no! I'm
you
so
know,
sorry to hear this.
to kind of make up
Poor
for his
guy.
sins, and well, I mean,
Y'all just gonna like side eye, like.
I mean, some of the gods are probably not even gods, anyways. But we kind of like. It's very important we finish what we're going to do because I don't know how much what happens on the material plane matters to you, but the core elemental function of the world is in danger. The Coven wishes to free a very powerful entity.
Look,
And may from we don't fully understand it, but it may completely change or end the concept of magic as we know it.
interesting.
No more power for you.
Yeah.
Is it strange that I am still somewhat fascinated by the process of destroying magic?
Well, magic in this case functioning from the heart of Tumus. Tumus.
Top five.
Sorry, it's still on my mind. Who
You think it's not still on mine?
may actually not be the god of magic, but might actually be an entity called the Primal. Maybe. We don't know.
Okay.
Because we've met a lot of the gods. We've seen a god die. And the Coven wishes to free him, and so we don't fully understand the motivations, but we need to destroy them before they can accomplish it, because if they achieve what they mean, the world as we know it will be reshaped in their image.
At this point, you hear a voice as you begin to pass a barren tree. Hello. So I can see you down there. You can move. You can move. You look up and there is a cage that's covered in ravens, and there's a woman, long brunette hair. She has a scar across her throat as these crows are starting to pick at her skin, and just as you watch, it picks out quite a bit of flesh, and then it regrows. She winces with each peck as that happens. Please let me out of here. My God, you're so young. I want to see my daughter. Please. She reaches her hand out.
We're not stopping. Hi. Sorry about the cage.
Sorry about the eternal damnation.
It's hard to see. You look so young and beautiful.
Please. I'll do anything. Please help me.
I'm definitely not stopping. I don't know what the rest of the party is doing, but I am definitely like,
Baldur definitely hesitates.
Yeah, it's just Casimir.
But he continues.
What's your read off of her?
Yeah. What kind of feeling am I getting from her?
Make an insight check.
Absolutely.
That is why players. I have a crappy insight check, so you do it.
25.
I mean, just based off what she's saying, she is in an extreme desperation. She truly does want out there. You feel like she will truly do anything for you if you were to free her from whatever punishment she is suffering.
What have you done that's landed you in this cage?
Don't ask them about their lives.
I have to know. What specifically have you done
I didn't do
that landed you
anything
in this cage?
to be here. I was blamed. I was framed. Please.
I don't think they have to.
I don't think that's how that works. Being framed in life doesn't constitute judgment in death. All right. Have a nice damnation. I'm gonna continue walking.
No, please. As you turn around and you continue to grow the distance between here, you just hear the cries of desperation grow more agonizing as the crows continue to pick out her flesh.
I mean, not everyone who's here has earned their place. We're here.
As much as I want to stop and help everyone here, we cannot afford to do so.
How loud is she getting, Game Master?
I mean, no louder than it would be expected, like the torturous screams, but based off of Zulkifli's hearing, pretty normal here, actually.
Okay, like not draw attention to us
No,
level
you can
of
imagine
noise?
that she
Okay.
would be doing this on the regular.
Okay.
Good.
I won't.
All right.
Good.
Not good, but not
Good.
good. You know what I mean.
No, it was good. Good. I don't have to, what you said to me is, no, don't worry about it, Guinevere. You do not have to banish this person to another plane.
Yeah.
You would actually be doing her a favor.
Yeah,
Well, maybe.
maybe.
Oh.
Yeah. We don't decide what plane she goes to.
That's
We don't have to banish her to super hell. We can leave her where she is and go on our merry way.
As you continue to walk through the grass, you slowly begin to approach the mountains, and it comes to a sheer cliff. The terrain doesn't gradually turn, it more goes to a plateau kind of terrain as you get closer. And as you get closer to this rocky wall made of this mixture of igneous type rock, you notice that there are forms woven in and out of it, these bodies of other mortal souls that have become part of the rocky wall. One of these bodies, its arms sticking out along with its head, cut off at the neck, looks up. Hello. It's not often you see those who can move amongst the dead.
you're imagining us.
He smiles,
Sorry.
showing these teeth that appear to be filed to sharp points.
Huh?
Come closer.
No.
Give me a taste.
Nope.
No.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We're going to mosey along this way.
I'm telling you, it's all the time when you're down here. Everybody has a problem. Everyone's trying to shuffle their problems onto you. Oh, I died, and it was so sad. I was so young, and I had unfinished business,
I don't
and
think
now I'm
she was-
haunted.
I get the feeling she chose to be here.
Oh, are we still talking about the lady in the cage?
New lady.
New lady with
Yeah.
the lady
was a
stuck in the
man.
mountain with the pointed teeth. New guy in the mountain with the pointy teeth.
I mean, I don't know. Is it a man? It's hard to tell here. That's kind of dark and hot.
Let's climb somewhere else up this sheer cliff.
Yeah. Came across, there was a kind of a club and it gets a little dark and steamy at night. Reminds me of that. But this music is, there's usually music and less screaming.
Anyway, so as you continue to move forward throughout this area, are you trying to climb the cliff, or are you trying to like see if there's a way around it?
I mean, here's a thought, guys. How high is the cliff?
You can imagine about 100 or so feet.
So, you give me a rope, I fly up, and I find a way to place to tie it, and then you all climb up the rope.
This is a long climb. We
Only
can
100
just walk,
feet.
walk around.
It'll take me like 20 seconds to fly up there at most.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about. Look over at Lady Guinevere. Do you think maybe it is too long to climb?
I am not climb. I climb not.
All right, we established this before.
This I do not do.
Yeah, not
Um,
if you make me carry her up. I don't think I can do this. So
I mean,
maybe
I
we.
carry you. I raise my staff. I'm gonna cast Dimension Door, Game Master.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I put my hand on Mr. Bojangles' shoulder and I take my staff and I just kind of draw a door and I pass through it. And then next thing you know, you're hearing from the top of the cliff. If Game Master, you're permitting, the next thing you would hear is Guinevere from the top of the cliff, like, "Okay, now you do this.
You know,
I'll wait for you."
at least she didn't kill a horse this time.
What?
Casimir starts to fly up
Huh?
with some rope.
All right.
He's trying dangles to 50 feet. You want to tie another 50 feet? This is a plan. Yeah.
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 Okay.
It
Done.
take 14 levels of wizard to climb rope.
Flies up to the top. Is there any place to tie a rope up there?
Mr. Bojangles, hold the rope.
Okay.
It
Hold
just
the rope.
Can you? How good is this Casimir's gonna test by trying to pull it out of his hands?
The arms get ripped
30-meter
off.
climb, we're fine. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I have very little to work with.
Stretch, and I start climbing. So funny handholds.
Make a strength check.
Okay, well, Casimir's gonna hold the rope.
Would you call an athletics check or straight strength check?
Athletics.
Okay. 13.
Takes you a bit of time. You will get 1 level of exhaustion.
Is Aspen still a badger?
Yep.
Okay. About how much do you think he would weigh at this point?
Badger weighs around 20 pounds.
Okay.
I
mean, thank you for knowing that. Thank you for knowing that. Like immediately,
I just googled it because I had a feeling somebody was gonna ask.
He had that in his pocket, ready to go.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm gonna use where is it? I'm gonna use my gym flight. So I'm just gonna have these spectral wings pop out of my back and just pick up Aspen in his badger form and just start flying up.
Okay, so Casimir being the first one to arrive with Guinevere, as Zulkifli, Aspen, and Galder make their way up. Casimir, you turn around and you see that there are 2 spires of thin spires of rock coming out of the ground with a figure tied between it, a rope around each wrist, and tied on between their legs are tied together with their feet, and tied at the base of the rope, tying their feet together, is this massive boulder, kind of like giving them great tension on their arms and their torso, but just not enough, you can imagine, to not tear their body in half.
So you're
the best
saying
stretch of their life and death.
I should not tie the rope around that boulder and give it to Zul.
You could. The figure is wearing this half plate armor. They have very sunken dark eyes with a long blonde ponytail and red headband around their forehead. And as the rest of the party comes up, you see Zulkifli and Aspen notice this person. And you know this person.
Oh shit.
This person was a member of your group when you first set out from Mysteria. You recognize him as Albiar.
No way! Dead? Albion?
You know this one?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
assume he probably got into some trouble having nowhere else to go, no family to return to.
Oh yeah.
Who is this?
spoke of him?
He was a young follower of, I believe, Silnor.
He called us the Seekers.
Yes, after the Keepers, his family.
So, I mean, if this was one of your companions, should we not free him from this torture?
Does he look? How entrenched does he get? Does he look?
You notice that there is a large strain on his face. There are veins popping on his forehead. probably not the most comfortable. Very extraneous effort on his part, kind of causing him to not be able to speak or breathe, but he doesn't really need to at the moment to breathe. Who's to say?
I mean, it's been some time since you've seen him, but could you leave one of your companions like this?
You are leaving behind the woman engaged, picked apart by crows, but you stop for somebody whose face you recognize, and you are saying that you are not worthy of Hipma 3.
I would have freed that woman, but I asked the question of can they walk past one of their former companions in this tortured state. I understand saving a friend over some you don't know.
What are you suggesting?
Well, do you trust him?
He did leave us in a moment of need. Out of fear, as far as I could tell. I don't blame him, but
I don't see how we can save him.
Well,
I don't know what we can do.
he's tied to these ropes.
So carefully a voice echoes in your mind.
A soul weighed down by the expectations of its master, unable to satisfy them, killed in their own folly.
I pull on the rope.
Pull on the rope.
Yeah, I pull on the ropes that are binding him.
Which one? He's
If
pretty
it-
high up.
Well, any. Oh, okay. He's like outside of reach.
Yeah, so he's on these two spires tied up about
Oh, okay.
10
like,
feet up,
really high
and the
up.
rock is hanging down off of his torso, pulling at his feet
Ooh.
with just enough force to not tear something out of place.
Probably like the best strength training.
Abia, can you hear us?
His eyes open. He looks at you. Face still straining.
We are here. Your friends. The Seekers.
He doesn't speak. He can't.
Lady Granova, what are the consequences if we free a tortured soul in this plane? Do you know?
Game Master, is there anything about is there anything about his like the ropes, his bindings that appear to be supernatural, that one could not just mundanely cut the ropes?
Every soul that is in this plane has the punishment to fit their life. You know that this is not a magical means. There are people who are doomed to fall to their deaths time and time again and just teleport back up into the air and fall. There are a wide... I read the text as I was talking. To fit their life. You would imagine if he were to be freed, he would probably end up back in the position.
I get it.
To continue on though, just to give you some. Oh, you're gonna cut the rope?
I'm gonna show no tell. I'll answer Casimir's question by taking out a short ornate dagger and just cutting the rope.
As that happens, his arm gets freed. There's a moment of relief, and then the rope reforms and tightens his arm back up.
Free him if you can.
In
I have a high jump reach of 12.3 feet. I back up a little bit, give myself a running start, jump up, swing with my power on, splash at the rope.
Same thing happens.
Yeah. Pull him down.
Do we
That's
want
fair.
to be spending this much time on this?
Oh, you can only try. Casimir will fly up and he's going to try and cut the ropes using the singing blade.
Okay.
See if it's any
Unfortunately,
different.
The same thing happens.
There are few. What a wonderful thing it is to be able to give him his torture anew, the torture that he chose for himself, by teasing him with the hope of freedom.
I'm
Generous
sorry.
friends you are.
So as it was
I'm
explained
sorry, my
to
friend.
some of you guys, not all of you were present in the underworld when you met Iona and Grove Treya, is that souls simply pass through their realm. They're not designed to stay there. And it's from there that they assign them to where they shall stay once they weigh their soul and their life. In fact, Iona does have 3 faces to be the 3 judges, 3 people in one body. Some souls that are passed to these realms, they're here for a reason. They're under the ownership of the ruler.
I put my hand on Casimir's shoulder and I said, "Come, let us wake from this nightmare. This one will stay asleep."
You'll be tortured forever for failing in some means he had no control over, for not being sufficient. And now his
You
god
know-
is dead.
In a way, I feel for Albiar and his fate. He was a young man who lost everybody he loved and had nobody to blame for it. Nobody left over. The beast that slew his father, or his father figure, was killed at the same time. And the only people he had to blame he turned to were the gods, and what could he do at that point? The young man as powerless as himself. When compared to the divinity.
Sadly, we move on.
Only there was some way to end his torture.
This is the
Maybe
way of
we
things.
Maybe we can talk to the Lord of Nightmares, because this is up to the Lord here.
We would,
Maybe.
only we would have to give him something as valuable in exchange.
There's always a deal.
Dude, I refuse to allow you to trade your life for another again so quickly.
If it happens, it's my choice. He turns his back and he keeps going.
As you continue on, the plateau, you begin to step on sand. Sand that is red, like the color of blood. And you turn around and the grassy plains behind you is gone. Just sand for a while. So carefully. You know this place, but it's just beyond the reach of your memory. Right ahead, there's a village.
Each trees. Sniff the air. Smell like sea air, like spices.
It does. Can I get a wisdom save, please?
Ooh, okay. I have to ask if it's a charm or frightened effect.
It is a charm.
Okay, I get advantage on that. Which is a 22.
22. The word
22.
arrives in your brain after a short moment. Home.
Ah. How can this be? My home. Kampung Selamat.
Do you move forward?
Yeah.
So,
A step hesitantly. I take a step, but I don't quite go all the way. I don't enter, but
what?
Do you ask this question out loud? Zulkifli.
Yeah.
Salkos, would I have any insight into the answer to the question how this can be?
Yeah. Think to how are souls punished in this realm?
I'm going to put a hand on Zulkifli, if you take a step towards this village, I put a hand on your shoulder, as if to hold you in place, though I would have absolutely no hope of doing that with strength alone, and would not roll if you tried to get away. And I would say, Zulkifli, I thought you wanted to go home, but you are now so eager to stay here because it looks so much
No.
like home.
I listen for the sounds of people. Chickens, goats, monkeys.
Make a perception check.
Sure. $25.
It is eerily silent, but there is a smell in the air. Smell of iron.
Mm.
And then you begin to hear a whimpering. A woman with
I know.
a tan skin that stepping out. She's holding her stomach, trying to hold in whatever entrails might exist there, with long claw marks coming down the torso. There is a subtle drip of drops of blood on the sand, staining it darker. Murder. You did this. Takes a step closer. You did all of this.
Zulkifli, do not fall into this trap.
But I did do this.
Do we all see this and everything?
You do.
Okay.
But
Aspen will.
It's at this point,
On
Zulkifli
wild shape.
seems several feet away. Like the sudden land has stretched between the two of you. Zulkifli in the middle between you guys and this figure walking towards him.
Aspen now just himself, he'll call out to Zulkifli. And he'll say, "You may have caused this, Zulkifli, but you've grown. This does not define you anymore."
Zulkifli's eyes shut as he thinks for a moment, and the ground continues to shift. All of your vision shifts away from him, as there is now a manor.
Zulkifli.
Trim of gold and marble, foundation with flames burning up towards the sky. The screams of a woman and man climb with the smoke rising to it. Shrieks. Many people with angelic features of their body surround, stoking the flames of the house that was once Casimir's home.
What? Oh no. No, not again. It might be time. Mother? Casimir starts to move forward.
Casimir begins to run towards the door of this burning home.
Singing sword in hand.
Should we do anything to interfere?
I want to try to grab Casimir as he's running.
Okay, go ahead and make a let's say a acrobatics check or athletics, your choice.
Okay.
Gotta grapple on.
That's a oof. It's an 8.
It's contested, so 21.
Yeah.
You're +5, so you'd have to roll a 2 on the die. Well, I'll save my spell slot.
Don't you stop me. I can change it. I can save them.
You cannot.
I have to. I have the blade. I have all my skills. I can do this, mother.
This isn't now. This is your past. There is nothing that can change this.
No. I set out.
Infernal blood. As Galder chases after Casimir and Gwynnifer is with Zulkifli, Aspen, the sand melts away to dirt, trees reach up towards the sky, and there are specks of black particles floating throughout the air. A village, one with nature, so naturally placed, but still bodies of stone. Loved ones clutching loved ones in a final embrace as their bodies petrified before them. And here you are at the middle of all of it.
Aspen takes in a deep breath and breathes out slowly and looks to these stone figures. Is he aware of what's going on?
We'll get to that.
Okay. I mean, because that, it decides what I will say next.
At the moment, you are not aware. You feel like you're truly experiencing, like you're truly there.
Aspen will walk up to his family, minus Astra, petrified. He'll see his mother, Saffron, his father, Dale, his twin younger sisters, Tansy and Bee, and his youngest brother, Mouse. And he'll just kind of place his hand on their backs. This is temporary. This problem can be solved.
As you all begin to run off to save your mother, to face those that you've murdered, those you feel at the moment you might have failed, a voice echoes in all of your heads.
This is the hell that awaits you. This is the hell you belong to for what you've done.
And that's where we're going to take our mid-session break.
Ooh.
So everyone, we're going to take our mid-session break right here. Super happy to have you, by the way, Michael. So wonderful.
I'm
Happy to be here.
always so happy to have a Wednesday with our two Michaels.
What? What?
Proto Mike.
And in case you're
Mega Man.
just now joining us, people in chat,
Hey, how's it going? Hey, people of chat. If this is the first time you're seeing us here, I mean, welcome. You can catch up on the story so far on our YouTube series. It's all there. We've archived the whole campaign so far since session 1. It's been a wild ride so far. A lot of this backstory stuff has been kind of slowly trickling out and not coming into fruition. including the first appearance of Lady Guinevere's character, not in Session 1, but later on. So please feel free to go check us out. We are Prestige Encounters over there under the Lich Souls YouTube account, I believe. Yes, okay, yes. And by the way, if you happen to be watching us over on YouTube, you could have caught us like last week live. Just come check us out. We're Lich Souls Gaming, Lich Souls over on Twitch. Also, I believe we're multi-streaming. Are we multi-streaming still?
We are currently multi-streaming, yes.
We're currently multi-streaming, so hey, we're like everywhere right now, and we're so glad to see you. Plus, if you happen to be a non-visual person, like sometimes you just want to like blindfold yourself for I don't know greater to enhance other senses.
Enlightenment.
Yeah, you can just listen to us. Our sonorous voices are available to you wherever it is you get your podcasts. Yes, including Watify, Wi-Fi, and Witchify. Just go with it.
All right, everybody, we will be right back. Thank you so much for joining us so far until we'll be about 15-20 minutes. So see ya soon, and welcome back, everyone. So where we last left off, there was a moment where all of the party members, Aspen, Casimir, Zolkifli, were all experiencing their own special sort of hell, and now there's voices that begin to echo into each of your minds, all except Guinevere. First, the accusation of murder to Zolkifli.
Murderer.
Words reminiscing of Casimir's experience.
Demon-born. Murder. Lord of the Infernal. Murder.
Aspen's.
Murder. Demon-born. Murderer.
Mother, where are you?
Infernal.
And then Galder.
Faithless disappointment. Faithless failure.
I need everyone to make wisdom saves, please.
Is this a charm?
No.
Okay.
Faithless. Demon-born. Faithless. Lord of the Infernal.
22.
Outcast. Faithless.
Is this a spell? Okay.
Faithless. Outcast.
19.
24.
I feel like we're in Chicago right now.
Outcast.
This is like the saddest Beardy Man track I've ever heard in my life.
You know that like
This is myself recorded over and over again.
He had it coming.
What'd you get there, Casimir, for your wisdom save?
Wait, when did that roll? Did that actually go through?
It did go through. You got a 13.
Yeah, 13.
13. All right, Casimir, you're gonna be the only one taking psychic damage.
Oh, cool. That's actually not a bad thing, I think.
Well, it would have been 76 points of damage, but you're resistant against it, so you're gonna only take half, which would be 38.
Yeah.
Still a lot of number.
Yeah. That's a lot of number.
Now, does Casimir still see himself as an adult, or is he starting to see himself differently?
So upon all of this, and you taking this damage, you all snap back to reality.
You think this scares me? You think this is new to me? Guinevere, I lied before. I don't have your dream every night. I have this dream. I know this place because I am always here. And it is nothing new to me.
This is I am saying to you already when we are meeting your friend Albion. This is the realm of the Prince of Nightmares. He is a generous god. He is all about wish fulfillment.
Casimir, you look like you're in a lot of pain.
Your dreams come true yet?
There are tears of blood running down his eyes, by the way.
Oh, hold on. Let me do something about that.
I killed so many people because of what happened here. to punish others.
Take a 4th level cure wounds. It's 27 points of healing back.
It's a little better. Everything I did was because of this night. This is my nightmare. And this is what led me to hell. On the material plane, led me to do everything I did.
And you are wanting to stay here, yes?
No, all I ever wanted was to punish anyone who was capable of such deeds.
You say you are not wanting to stay here, but you are still there in your head. It is like your friend Zulkifli, who is still in the village in his head, killing his friends and family.
You can never leave the moment that forms you into who you become.
Exactly. But this is the wonderful thing about this place. Wish fulfillment. Everything you could ever dream of.
No.
Everything you are dreaming of. Right here.
Everything.
I think I know now why I see this place. Because I do want to go back. Maybe one day I will go home.
Zulkifli, I forgive you for lying to me about the dream thing. And if I could just have just a lock of your hair, just a tiny, that would make it, it helps with the ritual. We'll talk about it.
Can I mean, I don't need to roll an Arcana check to know that that's sus.
Yeah, so that's weird.
I mean, you like, you give a witch like a fingernail or something, or
So Kifley.
I let a weird demon eat off 2 of my fingers. He holds up his left hand. He's missing the ring and pinky finger.
I gave up a memory.
I believe Aspen had something, and then I've got something.
Oh, I mean, Aspen, would have looked to Casimir and just said, "This is the worst of it. This is all of the negative emotion you can feel about your past, and all you can do now is look forward and see how much better you've been doing. You may have done so much wrong, but you have worked to become a better person. I saw a man I never would have imagined when we were in Cielnor.
I just wanted to see her again. The broken little boy who ran away from all of this. But I got so wrapped up in my anger that I turned to seeking revenge instead of trying to hear her voice again.
You don't want to see her again? We want to stop being the person you became after you left her. Huh? You want to be a little boy, maybe again. But no, you don't want this. You want to be something that you are not yet. So, maybe you are not dead. Not forever. If you can go back to life, then maybe you can be something more. This, Aspen, Astra, they showed me. So maybe we can show you.
I think in many ways they've already showed me. I think that's the only reason I was able to move past my selfish goal and focus on doing something for others.
I punch him on the shoulder. Ah, this is why you can move passes. Because you are strong. Remember this.
We still have a lot to do.
Yeah. Also, we don't know what Galda is going to see, huh? Or Guinevere.
Yes, Galder.
I am already trapped in my nightmare. We are stuck here talking about your past and not moving towards Lord of Nightmares. This is literally the thing I hate the most in Cosmos, is wasting time.
Should we just all walk hand in hand? That way none of us can get separated?
I hold Sukifli's hand.
Oh,
Renova. Yeah, he's got a
very
lady,
cool.
I think.
Very well manicured nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
had a
Guinevere's
thing
a
with him.
beautiful woman, so.
Yeah.
She's very cool.
Where is is the mountain still in sight, Liam? At this
You're
point?
on the mountain.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, there it is.
That was
So like
fast.
all the different
There it is.
landscapes, like
So
like are all the different like landscapes, like the desert and everything, is that all like just melted back into the
Yeah.
the mountain? Okay.
Mhm.
Up?
Now up. Yeah, and we can see if we can find this nightmare a lot.
Well, I think we need to steal from the Nightmare Lord.
Yes.
Borrow.
Well, I mean, he's a Nightmare. Wait. Feel it buzzing in the air.
We have to borrow. Yes. Look. As soon as I get the shard, I cast the spell, you're back in the material plane. And then you have the rest of your life to worry about what you're going to do when Nightmare Lord catches up with you.
I worry what happens when we get brought back to the material plane, because if our bodies are still back there, do we get thrust into our broken, shattered...
You let Guinevere take care of this.
Yeah.
Do not worry. Very powerful necromancer. Sounds familiar, yes. Very good.
Yes. I mean, we really
Yeah,
have to have a
yeah.
talk about that. There's all kinds of other schools of magic that are, a little bit less illegal.
Hey, we're on a
Oh,
different
no.
plane. It's
Yeah,
not illegal here.
It was illegal in the other
Am I
place
going
that
to
she
get
was
in
doing it.
trouble? Am I going to get in hell trouble? By casting illegal spell in hell? You think they're going
No.
to catch me and put me where?
I
Bubble
guess
hell?
the question is, what do you have waiting for you here?
Presumably whatever is involved of Lord of Nightmare.
So as you guys continue to walk, eventually you don't really find a place to grab a foothold or to climb or anything like that as you continue to walk on this path that almost seems like it's been carved out as if it were a dry riverbed. And you continue to walk and you continue to get funneled into where the walls go higher and higher and the path begins to grow more narrow as eventually you come to a gate. The gate is iron with kind of this red sheen about it. And as you get closer, there's kind of a red shimmer in the air as if a barrier surrounds whatever may be beyond this. And there are runes and an infernal carved upon the door.
An infernal.
Infernal. Oh my gosh. I'm actually useful. Because Casimir knows Infernal.
I also am knowing Infernal. My nurse when I am child is demon from hell, so teach me Infernal.
I'm actually not entirely sure why my mother taught me Infernal.
Well, it's very good on your resume if you are a low-level demon and you.
Yeah, you would
work
think I would
for a
speak
powerful
Elvish
necromancer.
or something, living in an elven kingdom for most of my adult life, but
I forgot to read
It's
the
okay, it's okay.
You gotta
You
speak
know two
goddamn
languages.
Elvish.
You know
Yeah.
2 languages is okay. You do not also know
well,
3.
I know I knew 2 other languages: the language of magic and the language of love.
Okay, not
I'm not well versed in the 4th.
I know you know of the language of. I've heard.
Yeah,
of
that's
that
say
before.
I've got kind of like a beginning understanding, you know.
He's just like I know of all languages, therefore am polyglot.
Yeah,
Makes
yeah.
good
that's it.
sense.
I can swear in like 17 languages, but most of them are just.
You
Anyways,
want to know what the door says?
Yeah, let's look at the door. I like this is a fun diversion. Though.
Yes.
The door essentially reads, "Only those who show strength may enter." And there's a place for other. And along where these runes are inscribed, there is a circle in which a hand or multiple hands can be placed. And as you continue to examine the runes, can I get an Arcana check with advantage, please? As there are 3 magic focused people amongst
Who's
you.
got the highest Arcana? Who wants to roll?
I'll give
What if
guidance
you
to
got-
whoever rolls.
Well, I mean, Michael already rolled a 32.
Oh, okay.
Add a d4.
I will add a D4. Here it comes. This is exciting. D4. Ooh,
15.
34.
Jeez.
Whatever you're about to say, I'm just going to say to Aspen, you think you can stick your arm in there and
I was
grab whatever it is?
horrifyingly. I was thinking
Magical energy must be offered to this door to allow you to proceed. Spell slots totaling in the number of 25 must be sacrificed in order to move forward.
Spell slots totaling in the number of 25. So like
25
if you
spell slots or
had-
25 levels worth of 25.
25 levels worth of spell slots.
Yeah.
Are we under the understanding this is temporary?
It is your current magical energy.
Okay, so
Which is using up the spell slot.
draining up the-
Mhm.
okay.
And you can divide it however you wish.
hey Golden, how many charges do you have in the Staff of Power?
On the Magi.
Staff of the Magi.
Let's see.
So-
It's full charge. However,
However, we're not sure if it works this way.
Mm.
I don't believe.
Zul's reading the Infernal just for a moment
Okay.
because he can read it too.
Too
He
many
thinks for a moment.
infernals.
He just speaks up. I have magic, but it's not your spell or slot. Huh? It's from my
No.
blood. I can give some my blood.
I'm not
You
sure.
can try. You can
must-
try. It must. Try it.
I mean, you're
Who am I
Do
to
the
tell you
wizards-
cannot do?
Do the wizards have an idea that it might work?
Guinevere's convinced it won't.
I'd like to try to think if it would work.
I'm curious myself. Like Zul wants to know.
Yeah.
Is that something that, as far as he understands how blood magic would work, chemocraft would work? Would that be something that
Like an Arcana
would be an
check.
equivalent offer? Sure, an equivalent offer. Well, that's not bad. 7.
You feel pretty strongly that it could work.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It might take a
can
lot of
give
blood.
All of my blood. All of my blood.
No.
He
No,
points.
it's
He
fine.
points.
Cool. Save your
No,
blood to magic.
100 point. Hit point. I can give.
Whoa!
What is a hit point? Sorry.
How many times he can be hit? I think.
I mean, I don't. What? So what? It's like life is
you think
not
maybe
a game.
more.
This is real
120,
life.
120. Can.
No. We stop quantifying your life in numbers. We are real.
Yes.
This is actually happening right now.
Yeah.
I
Don't
do
quantify
just
your
wanna-
life numbers. We're doing 25 spell levels to put into slot. Don't make up numbers about
Okay.
what.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to try
you can give,
something. I want to cast knock.
Yeah,
Using Staff of the Magi,
sure.
just to see if it'll work.
At the 5th level.
I don't. Can you upcast knock?
Not with the staff, I don't
No,
believe.
I mean,
You just use- okay.
knock is a spell you can cast at higher levels. Just doesn't have any extra benefit to it.
Okay. Just to see if it'll.
What happens?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
happens?
Do you want me to post the spell so you can read it, or?
Mhm. I mean, I already know what it
Okay.
does. I just enjoy reading it.
Okay.
See this DM? That's the face of someone who already knows what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Something very silly is about to happen.
It's gonna work.
It's. I just want to double check the wording. It does not work. It's not an arcane lock.
Okay, that's fair.
Does it
An arcane lock
deduct
by as in
two-
the spell. Arcane lock.
Yeah. Understood.
Does it detect 2 levels from the number of spell levels we have to feed to this line. Ooh,
Okay.
Ooh. Well, good thing you still have 48 charges on that staff.
Only those who show strength may enter.
Alright.
I approach the lock.
As do I.
And wearing the spell storing ring that I've got in my hand, I cast all 5 levels of spells that I've stored within the spell storing ring. And then I turn to the rest of the group and be like, oh, that really, I need to sit down.
That that wasn't anything from you at all. That was okay.
No, it was, 1 second. Oh.
I mean,
Okay. Oh.
we wouldn't know the difference,
Make
honestly.
deception.
Like,
Roll deception.
I'm gonna
Can we do an
insight.
Arcana check.
Or yeah, Arcana insight or whatever you want me to do.
26. If there's one thing Guinevere is really, really good at, it's lying to get out of doing work.
Excellent.
Know this for sure.
So would this be insight, Arcana,
That'd be insight.
insight?
'Cause
Okay.
She lied.
Okay.
Let's take a step above the board for a second here. I brought to the table
24.
a number of spell levels. I spent
That's true.
5 of them. There's a resource I can't get back.
Mm.
What did
Yeah.
you spend?
Yeah, that cost her.
I got a 24 on the insight.
Seems to be telling the truth.
Okay.
Is there like a meter or something that's been filled up a little bit of the way, or like?
The door doesn't show any progress so far.
Okay. And how do you go about spending these spell slots again?
Put your
Your
hand
hand.
on the door. There's a circle where you can place it.
Golder's gonna place
Alright.
his hand on the door.
How many spells levels are you offering?
2 5th level spell slots.
Casimir will give 1 5th level spell slot.
So that's 20 total.
Well, unless Gwen's didn't count.
Unless Gwen's didn't count, but. So 15 or 20 total.
Anyone else gonna offer their spells? It's 25.
Yeah, sure. We need 25 total.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. Aspen will offer a 5th level spell slot.
So no.
And with that, there is a flash and the door swings open.
Wow. That's uncomfortable, but at least we kept our hands.
And it's not a pleasant experience having this
No.
energy siphoned out of you. It's almost like you felt the sensation of your life energy being sapped from you in the past from other creatures. This was very similar to that, but slightly different.
Well, we just gave up part of ourselves. Thank you for offering what you did, Guinevere.
There's a
Sorry,
sound
Kate.
of chains.
Elegano. So on me.
A figure with a head of the skull of a deer wearing black robes, presenting his hands out, walks towards all of you from the other side of the gate of which you just entered in.
What language was that?
You recognize these creatures, some of you might, as a harbinger.
Okay.
No.
But it stops. It doesn't fade away. Telepathically, you all feel its presence enter your mind.
Master is aware of your presence. You may follow.
Understood.
Okay.
It doesn't
can
wait for
see
a
an
response. It just turns and starts to walk.
I can see an argument for it being a good reason why they are aware we are here. I'm not convinced by it, but it's too late now to be upset. So, yeah. And I follow.
Guess we shouldn't have
Yeah.
knocked on the front door.
Look, if it would have worked, it would have been cool.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't judging you. So there was
You-
definitely a definitive knock.
Oh, yes.
You're right. If a spell that any apprentice mage could cast on the giant door inside Ultimate Hell could have worked, very cool. Absolutely. She rolls her eyes and she continues walking on it.
Bitch.
So you all continue to walk and follow the Harbinger. And just beyond this valley, a short walk past the gate, you see a massive castle floating above a void. And as you begin to walk closer to the bridge that leads across to this castle that is on this floating landmass, you look down and see this red glow and hundreds of thousands of tortured souls reaching up for whatever may come and offer them a hand several hundred feet below.
Not looking, not talking to them. Just ignore.
They seem to be kind of what's the word I'm looking for, where you're like kind of walking waist deep in water,
Waiting.
wading in a
Wading. Yeah.
a lake of fire, essentially.
Those who died by passion.
Do you all proceed?
Yep.
Died by passion, so they're wading hip deep in fiery magma, so they've got really hot loins.
So you all proceed, ignoring that comment, and as you cross this bridge that is made of this dark iron, you come to the gates and you start to realize that the stone and the mortar is infused with faces, with body parts that have been petrified and become part of the structure itself. These purple flames glowing bright in their braziers light the way as the doors swing open for you and you're brought into this palace of Agazan himself.
I would, as just as a measure of caution, cast mage armor on myself.
Fair.
And I remark to the group, saying, "This is what awaits you in death. But I am a bad person for wanting to live forever through necromantic magic. You tell me. You make it make sense. You want to be down there in Lake of Fire because someone killed you in a fit of passion?"
I'm technically undead, so I mean, I live my own torture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm technically immortal, though, I guess. I mean, I won't age. So I smell off. Zul Kifley pointed it out before, like it's a little, yeah.
Well, you tell Lord of Nightmares that you're technically immortal and therefore should not be here. See if that gets you out.
Nope. That's okay. I mean, both the evil and the darker and good entities are in as much danger from what the Coven plans. Our
Yes, it's
being
bad. Oh, please continue.
Our being here, our being, will be tortured eternally as they enact their final plan. But I'm not the one to make that compelling of an argument, unfortunately. But that is the risk. Others may take up our mantle should we be stuck here, but who knows?
What can we say to this Nightmare Lord? What does he want? Maybe we tell him that if the Coven wins, then for sure he will not have his souls anymore. Because now the Coven will take everything.
Your objective is to go back to material plane, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not, this is not, adding more pieces to the chessboard of the planar war of which you are talking is probably not best move for if you are trying to get back home. It's probably just going to cause more trouble than, I mean...
Almost.
We don't need his help. Well, we don't need him to follow. We need to let us go.
Take Game Master. I ask thee, taking his question actually literally and stopping for a moment to think, what can we? Is there something that that the Lord of Nightmares famously likes to get from mortals that come calling at his palace of damnation?
Make a history check.
Hey.
Let me roll a die. That's a 2 on the die, so 12. I think I'm a little
12?
distracted.
I mean, casting mage armor, you're distracted from what I can't quite think on the subject. But like, you can imagine it's pretty for those who reign over a demi-plane of the infernal realm, right? What do they all desire? What do all infernals desire? Is power. And they might appreciate an offer of servitude at some point.
I mean, so Kifli, if you're willing to swear fealty to this lord, I mean, you're already dead anyway.
No.
No?
I already belong to Iona and Fusia. Kresna. I only want to go. But yeah, he wants his power, but also he wants to keep his power. Maybe we can convince him the Coven will take everything.
But I mean, let us assume that he does not know this already. Do you think that telling him, "Hey, Coven, this is a very bad thing. Therefore, you should just hang out here while we go back to life," us, just mortal people who died to a glacier, we will go back and make it okay. Save world. This is good. I'm genuinely asking. You think this is a good idea?
The demon lords, the infernals, are already aware of the risk. We have already received assistance from both gods and those of darkness in the past.
It is what we have. So unless you can think of something else, this is my idea so far.
I mean, if only Revelo were here.
Yes, you would be able to shoot gun.
No,
we would all be saved.
I mean, I guess the question is to ask: do we offer him a favor in exchange for our freedom? Ugh, I can't do that.
through this conversation, you make your way to the great hall doors that open up, and as you enter into the space, you see all manner of fiendish humanoids about the room. Some of those, we'll say, breeds are similar to those that you faced in the past. And in the center of the room is a figure that has these shadowy smoke rippling off of his form. There are wings stretched out from his back that are made of humanoid limbs and appendages, and faces that stretch between the bones to create the membrane. And turning around, he's strikingly beautiful, but fearsome. His eyes are that of an inky abyss. His hair drifts slightly in the what seems to be some sort of breeze.
We have guests.
And then you see what he's working on, arranging what seems to be corpses into some sort of plant shape, stabbing them on stakes, attaching them to each other to form some sort of tree-like shape that spreads out among the branches.
Do I get the?
Go on.
I was just going to ask, for the sake of establishing what's going on here, do I get the impression that this is some kind of ritual that he's doing, or is he just kind of like trimming his bonsai tree right now?
He's decorating.
Okay. Like I'm looking at these bodies arranged, and I'm like, this doesn't look like any necromantic ritual I'm aware of.
Right.
This is probably just how he kills the time. Okay.
He turns back to his work. He reaches up and grabs one of the torsos with the arm sticking out. Not quite. And he cracks the arm with a wet snap to bend it into a different place.
He turns back.
Much better, don't you think?
It certainly has a grim aesthetic.
It's definitely you.
Yes.
I think it's lovely. My mother is having one of these things in her atrium.
What?
Lot of nightmares. You welcome us to see you.
You are in my palace by my order. Do you not
Can
think
we
that
talk?
you're safe here?
Good. Then you know who we are.
I do.
Then you know I am Zulkifli. And these are the Seekers. And we are fighting a great threat. Something that kills gods and lords and takes from them what they have. All of them, however. And now we are stuck here.
He kind of flicks his hand in your middle of your sentence and begins to walk away.
Hey! You think you are safe too?
At this point, he'll begin to shift his shape and turn, and the great demon lord that you've seen comes down to closer to the size of a human with a tailored coat made of stitched skin that has been tanned
That's
into
pretty
a leather. His skin is a deep purple. His eyes are still that inky black. As he like fastens his coat and adjusts it,
Quasar.
I have no concern to this affair of yours.
I see.
But if you
So-
come here to threaten me with what may happen to me in my realm, you are in my place of power. I've already shown you what a taste of what you can endure for the rest of eternity. Or you can start to grovel and begin to make some sort of deal with me. At this point, all of the infernals around him will begin to chuckle. A chorus of wet, gravelly voices.
Remind me. I'm asking Zulkifli, out of character. Remind me, before we entered this room, I said you could swear fealty to this lord, and you said that your soul is already sworn to, and you named 2 names, if I'm not mistaken.
Never said my soul, but I mentioned
Sure.
Aelna, for Ursia, the god of the wilds, and Sielmar, one of the moon goddesses that I pray to.
Right.
Oh, sorry, not Sielnar, Kresna.
Kresna, yeah.
Kresna. I'm going to turn to the Lord of Nightmare, and I'm going to say, sort of if this is what you want, and I point a hand towards Zulkifli and I say, this one very willing to serve the gods he is. This one, his soul in death is already promised to many gods. God of the wild, God of the moon. Very exciting, rich with flavor, this one is.
I see you're volunteering your companions so quickly.
Volunteering? No, only indicating the value that we bring to you. We are not mere regular mortals who are tied in binds or burning in a lake of fire from the waist down. We are, I myself, apprentice to Lunar Dragon, Walker of the Plains. Very exciting people you have invited into your castle, yes?
Apprentice to Zaltor.
What an interesting vernacular that you have.
My common teacher, she says my common is perfection. So, this is what you mean by vernacular, yes?
Ferocia, you think she is one of the Celestials? Or she is my sister?
By marriage, or please continue.
The goddess of wild and evil beasts, creator of most beasts that you may encounter or have encountered in your wild during your lives. Interesting. He'll snap his fingers and suddenly you're pulled almost, and almost with a sickly feeling, you're now sat at a table. An array of food appears before you. Food you're familiar with. Food that you favor. It's not a bond of servitude you would have to take on immediately. Just when you meet your ultimate end. 1,000 years as a lieutenant of mine.
What would being a lieutenant entail?
Whatever I tell you to. A fair trade to simply go through the door of death once more.
One of us?
Just one. Tell me, do you think what I do here is evil? Has what you've seen been evil?
You take people who have suffered in the past, and you take away any future, so only they live in their pain. So yeah, evil.
Do you know who gave me domain here? Our precious gods. Following the wars of creation, those who wronged them simply were brought here. Those who, if given the power, like the peasant you came across, would have committed murders of hundreds. He was simply missing the means. A woman who drowned her own child so a man would find her appealing. Another who took on a task too large for his own ability knowingly and led to the death of an entire village simply so he could live up to the expectations of his former master. Tell me, again, through your mortal mind, is what I do evil? Or do those who live lives in darkness and evil deserve to be punished?
Dark with darkness with no hope of redemption. That was
They
the path
were
I
all
used.
judged.
Yes.
I do
This
not.
was-
I do not.
I don't believe this is evil either.
I don't believe it's evil. I believe it's reality.
I believe I was destined here, Aspen.
I understand that nightmares, as this is your domain, are a
Turn to
natural
look
part of every creature's existence.
Look at Casimir.
A human, a rabbit being afraid of some predator while it sleeps, a predator being afraid that its food source will be taken away from it while it sleeps. These are all nightmares.
You thinking of staying here?
No.
Becoming his champion?
No. I cannot turn back. Even though I would deserve this torture, I would also be selling myself and giving in to the horrors that I did if I chose this.
I'll do it.
Damn it.
Finally.
I can't let any of you do this to yourself. I won't let any of you do this to yourself. None of you deserve this. I don't deserve this either.
On the contrary,
But if anyone's gonna take the fall, it's me.
all of you have committed great sins.
As is a part of life.
I can't even count the number of people I killed. Because it didn't matter at the time.
I don't believe the sins of the past outweigh the good of the future.
He'll flick his hand and a long piece of parchment appears and unravels and rolls your way.
Like, how long are we talking? Like, long enough to, like... How long would it take to, like, read?
Pretty long.
Okay.
And as you attempt to read it, the words blur and they move around and rearrange themselves. It's a lot of fine print.
I understand you're not going to make this clear for me. So...
The general
What?
idea is once you meet your ultimate end, 1,000 years in servitude to me.
John, I
In
do
ex-
this.
None of you are doing this. Galder's going to sign.
Reach out. Oh no.
I put a hand on Mr. Bojangles' shoulder, like, not this time.
I reach out full on, just try to stop him from signing. Just thinking about it.
Do you actually reach for him to stop him?
Yeah, I reach out to stop him.
I need an athletics versus acrobatics or athletics.
Galder's gonna look at Zulkifli. Zulkifli, make a charisma saving throw.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh. He's not very
What?
charismatic. So.
It's a 3, sir.
Okay.
Pretty good for me, actually.
I cast Banishment on Zulkifli.
No,
Counterspell.
what? Ooh,
Counterspell,
Wait.
5th level.
what does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything
just-
because he just counterspelled it.
Oh, I
I
can
will-
counterspell the counterspell. Let's do it.
It's a fifth
Come
level
on.
counterspell.
Yeah, sure. I got a fifth level spot. Spell slots.
Oh, are you gonna do a contested roll?
He's doing a fifth level counterspell, so
It would just work, right? Yeah.
it would just
Wrap my-
automatically counter it.
Yeah, I just wrap my spell around your spell and pull it away and sit back and watch.
So
My
Kifley
only
for a
other fifth-
moment blinks out of existence as Galder signs his name, and as you take
And
the
I
quill
break concentration.
and you begin
as
to
soon as-
sign, you feel stinging pain in your hand and your fingers as your blood is drawn out through your skin down into the quill and signs. And as soon as
Galder
you're
doesn't
done,
even flinch.
the parchment rolls up, you drop concentration, and so Kifley appears back.
Real quick, where did I go?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, great question.
Yeah.
I would
Like
say
my whole
banishment,
brain.
banishment kind of
no.
implies that's like a pocket dimension if you don't necessarily, or does it not?
Hang on. I can rule.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
can
be,
rules
a
lawyer your way out of
harmless
this.
demi plane is where you go, as you
Yeah.
technically belong to this plane at this moment in time.
domain
Yeah, there you
expansion.
Here,
Go to
here's
hell.
the-
That is true. Yeah. Okay, good to know.
Was that our first proper counterspell off, by the way?
That was.
Yeah.
That was nice.
You did.
As this, sorry.
Come on. You did this.
I signed. I could not allow any of you to do this. I am already unsure in my faith. I am unsure of my future. The rest of you, you have
Nice.
plans.
Where is your nightmare here? You don't belong here.
That stays between me and him.
Agazan will
Okay.
take from the pocket of his jacket. He'll set down a small shard-like rod and sit on the table. Our deal is complete. I have some decorating to get back to. You are free to feel your stomachs.
I have a question for him.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Lord of Nightmares. Are you in the market for any smaller deals?
What?
And what are you suggesting?
You do craft nightmares, don't you?
You genuinely pick up that you've piqued his interest.
I wish to plague Aronaldeus with nightmares.
He'll
Standing
sit
right
back
here.
down at the table. And what?
This may not stop him in his pursuit of his goals while he's awake, but I want him to never have rest while he's asleep now. Waking up in stress and a cold sweat. A coward like him deserves it.
Interesting. And what would you offer for such?
How much value do you hold to that request?
Quite a bit.
I assume not as much as 1,000 years of servitude.
No. Interesting.
I
will
want him
ask-
to know that even though he stole my last breath, I'm coming back for him.
He'll snap his fingers, and in the palm of your hand will appear a sphere. I want you to prove me right that what I do here is justified. Find me a soul that, if given power, would do the atrocities that they would be able to commit. That sphere will be given to that person and justify their means of delivery here upon their death. And in turn, I will plague Aranudeus with nightmares every time he closes his eyes to rest, and offer you a boon in return.
A boon.
From his pocket in the front of his jacket is a whistle made of bone, which you'll set down. You may use this once and paralyze one of your choosing if they're not strong enough with fear for quite a bit of time, long enough for you to take care of them. It is a whistle that requires a charisma saving throw DC 25 to and if they fail, they will become paralyzed for 1 minute. It's a one-time use item. And I will give you a month to find this person, and if you fail, you will serve me for 100 years here following your death.
A month's time.
To find one bad apple out of an entire bunch.
Tell me, after that point, after I deliver the orb to said person, what happens to them after?
They
Does it
live
matter?
until they die.
Does it matter by what means they die?
I like the way you think. No. They have to prove that they belong here, though. They have to commit the atrocity.
Or all this still happens and I serve you for 100 years.
Correct. You seem to grasp the basic concept. Do we have a deal?
Espen will hold out his left hand.
He'll draw up a contract for you to sign.
All right.
Do you sign it?
He will.
If I had known we'd be signing so many contracts, you come to the hills, you sign contracts, you bring no lawyers with you. This is madness.
What's a lawyer?
The lawyers are already here.
But,
there's a whole circle of lawyers who pass by.
Hell's full of lawyers, surprisingly. So, with that, he'll then get up. It's a pleasure doing business with all of you.
Before he takes his leave, 2 questions about the environment that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
One, do I have the impression that this place is magically warded in some way, either by Hallow or Forbiddance or some other magical means, that would prevent me from casting Plane Shift here and now? Do we have to leave before we go?
Do you have detect magic?
I don't have. I mean, I don't have an active.
Because you wouldn't
like
just
a ritual
know such a thing. You would have to be
No.
able to discern a
Okay.
magical aura about, in
All
my
right,
personal opinion.
I don't have it prepared. It would take me 10 minutes to cast it, so
I can cast it if you want me to.
This is not something that I would. You can cast it for your own reasons, but I wouldn't
Okay.
be sharing this.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna.
He offered you the shard for the contract.
I take it. Or, I mean, Zukufli takes it. I assume he hands it to me.
Wasn't it given to me?
When he's ready.
He put it
He
on
doesn't
the
have to do
table.
it right now.
Whoever grabs it can grab it.
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
My second question is, you described the Lord of Nightmares as kind of shrinking down into a form more understandable to us, like human. You said he was dressed well. Does he have any of the like the symbols of his power on him? Is he wearing like a dream stone or his bag of sand, like Sandman would have, or something like that?
So his on the lapel of his jacket there is a like kind of shimmering purple stone that matches the braziers.
Okay. All right. Okay. And is he leaving?
He's going back to his tree.
I gesture to the group to quickly link our hands together. This is how it works. This is how it works. We link. It literally says in the description of Plane Shift that a group of people have to link their hands together in order for
You can't
us
just
to do this.
group hug.
Can you think of a reason not to leave right now?
If we have bodies there, then no.
Oh, where do you want to go, by the way? Material plane, yes, but did you have a place in mind?
We must kill the ice demon.
Hang on. Is he leaving? Is that guy? Is he? He's already gone.
He is rearranging his tree, snapping legs and bones and splitting skulls to get just right.
We were in the middle of a fight.
Oh, okay. We do not have. Don't worry about going back to there. I am not going to help you fight Demon Glacier. Where do you want to go?
We need to go back to Cogran. We promised to deal with the giant problem in exchange for the weapon we need to help defeat the Coven. So we do
Cogran?
need to
Okay.
go back to where we were.
No,
Yeah.
Cogman.
No, not the city, but to the mountain. We must go back.
Which
You
mountain?
don't. The one where we die.
Okay.
Well,
But
I will point out the other giants have probably come back now.
Oh, I heard
and
this
now there's
this
a-
while holding hands. It's great.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean,
So
you
I'll-
have. I forgive you for not having like the polar coordinates of this place. Like latitude and longitude would help, but if you could just give me the general location, maybe a
It is
nearby city.
keep in Bluffcran Pass. Bluffcran.
Altitude
describe
also
the map.
very important. Very important to write down.
I describe altitude and longitude of the coordinates, but like not exactly on the village, but like a little bit further on.
I mean, I do have to say, Zul, that what we experience there may change things. Do we go back and risk our deaths, or do we advise the king of what happened? Because this is not a simple conflict against the giants. This is giants being twisted by an infernal which we just freed.
Yeah. You want to tell the king that? Or do you want
Well-
to tell the king that we stopped him? This inferno.
I'm just worried that we're going to go back there and find the rest of the giants that were distracted.
Look, before I want to set expectations here. Like I'm not going to get you on the exact spot that you went to.
Okay.
I'm going to this is not Are you familiar with the spell teleport? This is not teleport. This is plane shift. I am bringing you back to the plane. We are getting in the general area. So, you know, if you want to land in your bed, I can probably get you to your city.
If we go back
Probably.
and the giants there, Casimir, we fight. But this time we fight Mossman. Huh? We rushed in. We must be more prepared.
I thought we
can.
It sounds like either way, we need to go back to Stonelagar. Because we can just ask his High Mage to teleport us back to where we were. If he doesn't, like, die from doing so, but, you know.
Yeah. I mean, who knows how long we've been here. Time when you move to demiplanes can be very confusing, so we could come back to find the Kingdom of Cogran completely destroyed by twisted infernal giants, so...
Okay.
Time can be confusing while traveling the plains if you don't know basic arithmetic. Yes, I agree. Okay.
Well,
so, what was the name of the city? Somrigar?
Stonelagar.
Stonelagar.
Stonelagar. Okay, Stonelagar. Okay,
You've seen a map, right? I mean,
I know.
on the map.
Oh, we have a map. Hold on.
Yeah, it's literally like she will show you on the map.
Okay. All right.
You can see somebody like drew a little arrow pointing right at it right here. You see that?
A lot of notes on this map.
Yeah, just say, can we please stop writing on this map with permanent ink?
So, Game Master, once they have shown me where we're going, if we're all holding hands, if we're all agreeing, then now is the time to go. With the shard in the hand that I'm holding, Zulkifli's hand real tight, feeling the roughness of his skin, the strength of his fingers, I am going to, with one action, cast the spell. Just before I do this, Michael, I would like to telekinetically, without the use of somatic or verbal components, mage hand that beautiful purple gem on his lapel into my own.
Oh!
I will need an Arcana check to see if you masterfully do this.
She's not with us.
That's a 22.
Okay.
Oh.
Do it. Yep. Roll off.
Okay.
He won't tell us, though.
If I get the impression that he's getting to me faster, then the gem is, I'm casting Plane Shift.
So, as you cast this, you all feel a sensation as you are shifted away from this plane to Stonelagar, the capital city of Kargrin. Immediately upon spawning, you hear commotion. You hear shouts of alarm as you see that the city is currently under siege.
Uh-oh.
Saw that
and you
coming.
get just a glimpse before she disappears from you. Guinevere pocketing the small purple gem as she disappears from your vision. And that is where our session will end for a story for another time.
Whoa, it was all about the score.
It's always about the score.
Everyone, that will conclude tonight's session of Prestige Encounters as we end it a little bit early this evening at a perfect starting point. I would like to thank Michael for being so gracious to fill in a guest spot for us tonight. It's always an honor, good sir.
The pleasure is all mine.
So fantastic. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to Jeremiah, who is Aspen, our Furball Druid.
Wonderful session, you all. Very interesting. We died, but then we didn't. Yeah, I don't know where Revelor is.
Find him.
But yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on. Aspen making a little sneaky deal, nothing crazy. Probably like $11.99 transaction. You know, nothing super insane. But you know, crazy shit's happening. And with that, I'll pass it over to Noah, aka Zulkifli.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
You rescued. It's been. I think we took a little break there. I don't think we got to go ahead last week. So I've been living for the last 2 weeks under the impression that my character was dead and just making peace with it.
Just being like, you know what, that's the story. Maybe there'll be another story at some point in the future. But it's kind of nice to like come back to this. Wonderful to explore backstory stuff. I thought this was a really rich RP session. Michael, you're an excellent friend, an excellent DM. Thank you for joining our table tonight.
That Michael, not me.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yes, and in fact, I'll yield over to Guy as well.
Well, sometimes you get a TPK, sometimes you get a redo. Today we got lucky. The Seekers had Kresna on their side, give them another chance. And as usual, we made things much worse in the world instead of making them better. We got to, see some old friends, see Gwynover van Karkov again, who's always delightful. My delightful Gwynover. It's always fun playing with you. But yeah, wonderful session, lots of tension. I'm like, how do we go into this? 2 people are dead, only 3 of us left. We're all badly hurt, and we're fighting against whatever's inside this, which is actually much worse. It's got anime second form going, and really cool combat. And then another cool take on the underworld. Like, some DMs get like one cool take on like a layer of an underworld or a layer of hell. And Salco's Michael has given us 2 really cool takes, and that's a gift, really, to see these different takes on this world. And it's always fun to keep playing, every Wednesday with you all. And I pass it on to the cleric of we don't know now. He's kind of a cheating cleric. Galder, played by Dakota.
He's polytheistic.
Yeah, they're in an open relationship.
Like he doesn't communicate well enough. All right. Great session, a lot of good RP, as was stated. It's very fun playing with Michael, not Salco's Michael, but other Michael, for the first time. This is confusing. Very good to meet you. Very fun session. And I look forward to seeing what's going on with Galder. I know I've said that a lot lately, but there's just a lot going on with Galder. So. Yeah, with that, I'm going to pass it over to Michael, who played Gwynevere.
The pleasure was all mine, guys. Thank you so much for inviting me to do this. It's every single time. It's such a treat. You guys are great. Proto Mike, you are a wonderful game master. Noah, it is also my privilege to be your friend and game master. Guys,
he's also one of my players. It's great. It's very much a feedback loop.
Yeah, we through constant play, all of us are the tabletop roleplay lifts us all.
What kind of an open DM-ship relationship, really? If you think about it.
Sometimes we top, sometimes we. It's fun. It is a wonderful privilege to be able to play Dungeons and Dragons in any capacity with all of you.
Thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Tuesday. As we have people from all over the globe really auditioning, so that's really great. We're gonna rate a Waterdeep stream here. I'm just trying to spend 30 seconds to get through the ad so I actually can see what they say. But everybody, once again, if you haven't joined yet our Discord, please make sure you do so at glitchsouls.com/discord, or use the command !Discord in our chat for a direct link. Let's stay around for the raid.
We're going
it's a
balls
really
deep in
exciting
Waterdeep.
time. We're gonna try to double their audience here. So,
Ding,
Everyone, thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye.
Bye. Bye.